Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to go over some of my favorite verses in the Bible and kind of my favorite moments and one of my personal favorite stories in the Gospels. So this one that I'm going over today is the story of Peter's denial. And so that kind of starts in John 13 verse 36. So let's go ahead and read it. Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, where are you going?" Jesus answered him, "Where I am going you cannot follow me now, but you will follow afterward." Peter said to him, "Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay my life down for you." Jesus answered, "Will you lay down your life for me? Truly, truly I say to you, the rooster will not crow till you have denied me 3 times." So here, Jesus already knows. He already knows everything that is going to happen, He already knows Judas is going to betray him. He already knows that Peter's going to deny him, And it's just so sad because here we have this disciple who has followed Jesus for so long. He's seen so many miracles. He's been there from the beginning. He's seen people be healed. He's seen the blind gain sight. He's seen the mute speak. He's seen all these demons be cast out of people. But yet, he's going to deny Jesus 3 times. Alright, so here we're actually going to see Peter denying Jesus. So this is John 18, verse 15. Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. Since that disciple was known to the high priest, he entered with Jesus into the courtyard of the high priest. But Peter stood outside at the door. So the other disciple who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to the servant girl who kept watch at the door and brought Peter in. The servant girl at the door said to Peter, "You also are not one of this man's disciples, are you?" He said, "I am not." Now the servants and others had made a charcoal fire because it was cold, and they were standing and warming themselves. Peter also was with them, standing and warming himself. So, you see right here, Peter doesn't follow Jesus like the other disciple does. The other disciple was known to the high priest. He could enter into the courtyard and actually kind of see what was going on, whereas Peter could not. So while he's waiting outside, the servant girl, she's like, you wouldn't happen to be one of those like disciple people, those followers of Jesus, are you? And he's like, no, absolutely not. Why would I do that? And here's his first denial of Jesus, and it's kind of sad to see, Here's this disciple denying Jesus. So if we actually continue down a little bit, you will see Peter denies Jesus again. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This is John 18, verse 25. Now Simon Peter was standing and warming himself. So they said to him, "You also are not one of his disciples, are you?" He denied it and said, "I am not." One of the servants of the high priest, a relative of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, asked, "Did I not see you in the garden with him?" Peter again denied it, and at once a rooster crowed. So Peter is standing outside and he's warming himself by the fire, and here comes somebody else asking him, You're not one of those disciples, are you?" He's like, No, I'm not. And then one of the servants of the high priest, this is somebody who had even seen Peter in the garden with Jesus, and he had seen him cut off the ear of the man who was trying to take Jesus. And Peter again denied it. And at this point, Jesus' words have come true. The rooster crowed. It was complete. It had been done. His fate was sealed. He had already denied Jesus 3 times. 3 times. So let's kind of continue on, and we'll kind of see what happens from here. All right, so here we are, and this is John 21. Jesus had just resurrected, and he's appearing before his disciples and kind of telling him what his plan for them is. And it kind of goes down and kind of tells you, like Jesus and Peter, what they said, what was said between them, and then it also tells you, like Jesus and the beloved apostle, what was said between them. So here we go. So this is Jesus and Peter. This is after Peter had denied Jesus 3 times. Jesus has been crucified for our sins, and all these horrible things mocked and beaten and spit on, all these awful things. And, Peter had just denied him 3 times before all that. And now Jesus is raised from the dead. This is after the crucifixion. This is after everything. And now Jesus comes to his disciples. He comes to Peter. And, we'll kind of see it. Let's read what happens. I don't want to spoil too much. This is probably one of my favorite, absolute favorite parts of the Bible. So, Jesus and Peter. This is John 21, verse 15. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Feed my lambs." He said to him a second time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Tend to my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was grieved because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep. Truly, truly I say to you, when you were young, you used to dress yourself and walk wherever you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will dress you and carry you where you do not want to go." This he said to show what kind of death he was to glorify God. And after saying this, he said to him, "Follow me." So this kind of ties back into kind of what we were reading and what we were talking about earlier. So Jesus told Peter, "Where I'm going, you will not be able to follow." And here Jesus is saying, "Follow me." Right there. In verse 19 he says, "Follow me." And not only that, for each time that Peter denied him, he asked him, "Do you love me?" And Peter replies, "Yes, you know that I love you." And then Jesus commands him, he tells him, "Feed my sheep, tend to my sheep, feed my sheep." So he's telling him to start a church too, that even though he denied him 3 times, for each time that he denied him, he gave him a commandment to follow, to do, a thing to do. So feed my lambs, tend to my sheep, feed my sheep. So he's saying all these things. He's telling him to do all these things that, are going to start a church, and he even alludes to how he's going to die for God, for Jesus, and I just think that's so cool, that this is a story of redemption. This is Peter, one of the disciples, getting redemption straight from Jesus after he denied him 3 times. And how cool is that? I just hope that the story has encouraged you like it has encouraged me. I hope that it has blessed you like it's blessed me. And I hope that I could share this with you in your time of need. And if not, I hope that it encourages you as we get closer to Resurrection Day and as we're currently in Holy Week, that, it would just kind of encourage you and kind of let you see something. And maybe I taught you something you didn't know, or maybe you just didn't remember, So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.